how we're doing it, man. Oh, Canada. What's up to everyone here in Canada? Hey, what happened there? That was supposed to be longer than that. Yeah, everyone, welcome to the show. We're rocking and rolling. Look at, oh, this is still BTBT. Look at CEI. Boom, 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 boom. Out here all the way to the upside. Let's see what we can do now. If we come up to 140 and change, we're going to rock that. Palantir. See ya. Let's go, Palantir. Let's go again. We'll hit some cowbells here. As Neil, we only have now 20 seconds to go. But there goes Palantir, man. Wow, what a day. I didn't buy that lottery ticket, but I may do that soon.
Yeah, we have about 20 seconds to go here. That Voyager's come back to that 4 level, but 415 current high on that stock. So we're going to watch to see. It had a 370 key level on the daily chart. If it holds that, resistance turning into support makes a lot of sense to me. Forget about Constellation Brands, don't care about that. But Miss V, we're dropping the bell. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
Oh man, you know what we didn't show? We didn't show the imbalances, man. So I think we screwed that up.
You sure?
I didn't, unless you did. I don't think we showed the imbalances, so I apologize for that. For anybody looking for the imbalances, we normally do show those. But here comes Palantir, man. Good out there at 8 as we're starting to crack down. I don't even know if we're open yet on Palantir. I don't see any end prints, but looks like we should be open now as the level 2s are making sense. So big flush on Palantir. Good opportunity to get longer, guys.
And oh, there we go. Like immediately got
the market's gonna flush, I think.
Yeah, this is nuts. I got like a crazy fill on Moderna there, so it looks like it took out the top.
Geez.
I have some locked. Watch out for your quotes, eh?
Yeah.
I got some stuck quotes. But anyways, Virgin Galactic bounces off this 20 level. I was sort of looking at the price. I'm like, we're not at 321 on Moderna. Virgin Galactic bounces off of that 22 level all the way up to 2260. Now, I like 2250 as a bit of a resistance area for the stock. So this is it right here, 2250 to 2260. If it's going to reject and come back below it, I do want to try to short it on the way back down here. I really only want to go one direction. I just want to see the offer hold below. You just watch it.
I won't do that one direction joke again. We did average in here. Bang, right there. Quotes be damned for me. But I think Neil was right. They were a little sketchy there off the open. But there it is right there, man. Look at that average in. We just told you as it was coming down that we're going to take Palantir and we're going to go back to the upside right there with it. And then look at BTBT. Let's go, BTBT. You are my hero today again. We're going to the upside right now with BTBT, and it's rocking and rolling. So this is another 58, 90 cents, 60 cent win off the bottom, even more. So there goes BTBT. Let's see where it goes. CEI, let's go as well. Up to 32. Let's average out on this one. So far, we're rocking and rolling, man. Cooking with gas today to the upside. Good. So far, 3 for 3. Let's find some more names for you, but these are all rocking and rolling. Palantir, CEI, BTBT, all on the long side as the NASDAQ trying to break.
Yeah, the NASDAQ's really trying to go here. My stops are literally not even triggering, but that has to do with my quote issue, so we'll see what happens there. NVIDIA broke that 202 level convincingly. Facebook's trying to get back to the upside. If it pops, $2 more on Facebook. It's right at 332. I'm looking, sorry, 330. I'm looking 331 and a half to 332 for an entry. Nvidia looking hell of strong here though. If it gets back below that 202, that's the key level. Market looking like it wants to head back into the upside here, but Facebook not coming with it. Watch that for relative weakness. Brendo?
We mentioned the iron ore related stocks. Cleveland Cliffs, the first one to pop up here, guys, on volume. Tag 20 and a quarter at the bottom there. We're right back to pre-market highs for CLF.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, Cliffs Natural Resources, we like that one. Actually, that reminds me about a new core position, possibly. Eni is flushing, AMC is pushing hard. Okay, we will look at all of these, man. But right now, in my focus, really, CEI, we just took another piece out right there. It's a big trade for me, so we're going to watch out for that one. BTBT as well, coming back in a little bit as I'm going to hold on to this one and just hope that, you know, Bitcoin just keeps on going to the upside. And Palantir, we're trying to look at that. Let's look at AMD on this move up here in the NASDAQ. That should be good for AMD. Still, though, down to 101. So yeah, the tech names are starting to struggle. Come on, charts. The tech names are struggling a little bit here today, but AMD is now equal with the market. So we're gonna have to watch out. The reason I say tech names is the S&P right now is starting to go upside a little bit more than NASDAQ. So we're gonna have to watch out for some of those bigger names on the big board rather than NASDAQ. But AMD is just following suit. I'm sure NVIDIA also looks like it's probably going. But here we go, man. The NASDAQ now starting to go. So we got to watch out. Palantir fading out. This is called profit taking. I believe there's going to be a bid in Palantir at some point. So we did take some profit, but now we're obviously out of the money. So we're going to have to wait to see what Palantir wants to do. Find some support down here about 24-ish, as we always defend that level anyways.
Oh, one stock that we should get to, and apologies for not getting to this one. You guys asked about GTE. This was on the imbalance locator in the afternoon yesterday. It had been for a couple of days in Toronto. It's dual listed also on the Amex. Been a bit of a runner here on no news. It broke $1 this morning, and it just retook a buck. Remember I said about CEI, dollar is a key psychological level for these penny stocks? Well, it retook that dollar and then flushed all pre-market long. It retested a buck, failed right here before the open, retested it again at 9:30, and then failed again. So I'm now short this one in front of $1. I mean, it's an easy way of saying if it breaks $1, I can easily get out, and then I'm shorting off of that level. CEI, the first stop that I had for it would have been 140. It looks like it's turned at 133, so not into that one yet. I am back into Moderna. We'll try to hang on to this trade, but I couldn't even execute properly on it. But now pre-market highs at 325. That's where I want to give that stock to. But GTE, this one trades on the Amex or dual listed in Toronto. I'm trading it here in the US market. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we just, BTBT falling a little bit here. We've already cashed out one spot there for a nice 40-cent win or so. No, sorry, 90 to 20, 30 cents. We'll average back in right now on this dip down. So we'll see if it wants to rally back now on BTBT. So we'll wait for that one. We'll just see if it wants to go. My eye's looking everywhere right now. Palantir, Spiders, Apple. I see out of the corner of my eye that a nice coffee is coming. So thank you. To that one. Let's look at Ford. Ford, another name on our list here as the S&P rallying. Thank you, Ms. V. Yeah, wow, Ford, wow, okay. So yeah, negative no more. Ford was negative in the pre-market. Again, it's on our list here. It's a number 3 stock on our watch list. So you can watch that, the sticky note. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't matter. It's right there. We were looking to pick some up lower. That didn't happen. So right now, Ford looking like it wants to take out. It's Investor Day for, damn it, man. All my charts are messed up right now for Ford, but it's Investor Day for GE. GM, sorry, yep. And so maybe Ford moves a little bit on that, but I'd like to get this longer at 14. We just missed that one. Let's go to Brendan and get some new names.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that offering for this one, guys, XENE, $300 million offering right before the open, and ho-hum just made session highs there, up 4.5%.
So keep in mind a few things on XENE, I should say. 33.50 to 30, kind of 34 here. It's 33.70 technically, but I think that entire 50-cent range was a hard top on this stock. So it gets anywhere near that in offering. I think that's going to be sort of the go zone for me on that name. And there's a bit of a battle happening in a volume spike here on that Voyager, which I probably got in too early. It stopped out at that 70 mark. This is 70 on the daily. You're going to see it testing 4 one more time, but it is absolutely churning through volume here and doing that little potential rollover where it just tested the high at the open, failed shy of the high, and that's always going to be a setup for me. So it's like that test of the high, 930, fail at the high, try to get back in on the way down. I just grabbed some shorts at 402. It's got a 14 high. I might have said 415 because I tend to round these things to the nearest number. I'll add to this one if I get the opportunity around this 4 level, but clear stop is going to be at that high of the day. Facebook now at the absolute low. I need to change this rule.
Is it?
Not getting in the pre-market on some of these more expensive names is absolutely crushing me lately because that's how it's like $5. Facebook is just tanking right now, Brendan.
Okay, good.
Like, another pure mining idea here, guys. Hut on the NASDAQ, Hut 8. Just making session highs, as you see there, on volume. Huge volume for this. 6.5% for HUT.
Okay, we're going to, you said 8 Home Depot?
No, Hut.
Oh, I was going to say Home Depot up that much. Okay. Okay, so we just missed it there. Neil was talking about Facebook tanking and actually went over there and not forgot about it, but the Palantir trade just went super in the money there for me. So we're going to see, we're long at 60, but I was talking about this part right there, just ripped up. So we can make back some of the stuff that we lost here on Palantir. We didn't lose anything on Palantir yet. We're still holding everything. But this is a nice move to the upside right now on Palantir. Damn it. I just saw it go, pardon my language, I just saw it go right there to VWAP and should have had an offer there, missed it. That's completely on me. So we'll see if Palantir wants to keep rocking and rolling here. Hopefully to the upside, not to the downside. Maybe we just bottom picked right there. Again, this chart just ends at 430. This did go up to 2650 yesterday. So this is not a key level by any stretch of the imagination. It just dropped too much down there. And but now it doesn't look like it matters because it's right back in. So right there, Palantir did have an out there at 70 and we just missed it. So again, we're responsible for all of our trades and that was one that I missed there. So that's my bad, but we're not missing BTBT. We reloaded that one. We took out another 20 cents on that. So we reloaded it at 87. We just got out at 08. So right there, another 20 cents. We'll see where we go from here, but we only have one more bullet to fire. And if it comes out, it comes out. But right now, BTBT rocking, guys.
And starting to get that rollover on Voyager there, VYGR. It just bounced to 383. So 402 short to 383. We'll definitely rinse and repeat. If I get some shots at this that 4 to 405 range, we'll go at it again. I just looked to give Torch in the mouth, 100% on Moderna one more time. As it just went down to like that 319 bottom. Let's try to get the chart up for you guys. It just went right back down to that 319 bottom. I'll tell you how ridiculous that trigger was. So when I got the break on this trade, I literally couldn't even bid out because my bids were not coming out at the correct price. And then it just ran back into the upside. If it takes out 325, I'm all done with Moderna, and it's not going to be a pretty one for me. That GTE, that rejection at $1 is ongoing. It just, and again, you always want to look for that to happen. Like, it tests a very, very key level after breaking in the pre-market, shows you at 930 that the buyers can't really sustain it, and now it's fallen like an absolute rock. So I'm short here at 98.5. It's now down at 93. Just imagine, if you never traded a penny stock before, imagine it was, instead of $1, $10, and you short at $9.80, right? Like, it's all psychological at that point. So I do think that this stock is probably going to try to find a bit of a bid. The first thing I usually look to is what's the wick top from before, and I look back to this at about like 88 cents. So if we come back into 88 cents, which also you go to yesterday's action was a bit of a turnaround point, that's where I would look to cover more than half my position, probably 2/3 to 3/4. If it gets there, I'll definitely have some bids in front of 90. If you were short at $10 in a stock, would you be bidding at some in front of $9? I'm sure you would. So same thing goes here when you're short at 98 cents and looking to cover some at like 90, 90.5, 91, 91.5.
Okay, so I'm going to have to change my game plan a little bit here, it looks like. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to have to give Palantir some more room. So, we bought here, and that was just stupid because we were in the money, and we were in the money decently. We're at 60 cents, right? It ripped up to 77 there. That for me, that was a good win, and we didn't take it. So right now, we're just going to regroup a little bit here on PLTR and see what happens. I was just looking for some levels, and really, there isn't many. Palantir does this, man, and I should have known this, and I should have understood, because Palantir gives back a lot all the time. It's such a heavily traded name that this is what's going to happen. But right into here, 24.35, that's right where we are right now. So this is a spot that's a little nerve-wracking. I'm going to use these areas here as our outs, man. 23.75, it's going to be bad if that happens, even down here to 23. But I just don't think that this is a name that needs to be killed like this right now. So I don't even want to get out of Palantir. So I'm going to stop averaging in. I'm going to wait. If this flushes, I don't have that big, like I'm nicely in the money today, so there's absolutely no doubt about the trading. It's just for right now, Palantir is starting to hit to the downside, so we're going to wait to see what happens here a little bit lower. So not buying any Palantir, hoping for a relief rally, and we'll see if we get any a little bit lower than this, guys. And
one from earlier in the session, remember Cassava Sciences? Just checking back in on it, it has made a bit of a flush. Since it came with the news when we came on air, it's since tried to push back up into this, 61.5 is going to be the high. 60 even is where it's turned to now. I like 63, I like 70. It lingers any longer, and I think you might be thinking about a lower high at that 60 even. I've added, there was a monster buyer, and I put it in the chat there. Just every now and then we'll see things in level 2 we like to share with you guys. There was a big buyer on 323 on mRNA, and the second I saw that order pull, I actually added to my short position. It still has not broken that 326 high of the day, but I got a 22 long. We'll risk about $5 on this trade, and then I'm bidding down here. Well, maybe it's $4 on the trade, I should say. And I'm bidding down here once it's $4 in the money to take some out, and then lower the day as well. So now we're looking to hold on to it. Facebook's still on the low at 326, despite the market coming back up. Brenda.
Hi. If you prefer the little ones, guys, Canon, another cryptocurrency-related stock here, CAN up 4.5%. On volume as well, just making a day high here, trying to push towards that $7 area, which hasn't been there in quite some time for CAN.
So we'll ring the register a little bit there as Palantir is starting to come back. I mean, we're not out of that one, but look at AMC, man. We just shorted that. We were waiting for a 36 break, but that didn't happen. So we'll use 37 as our out there. But right now, we just shorted that one. I think AMC goes lower today. So there we go. We take 20 cents in about 1 minute or less right there on AMC. So there's the short right there into that level, 36.55. We just marketed into this one when we noticed what was happening, coming back down, then giving us a chance to short it on the way back up again. So there it is. And then we get out right there. We sit on the bid for 20 cents. That's 55s out, 34s there. So a little bit more than 20 cents. Now we'll wait for a 36 breaker on that one and see where we go. We did talk up Palantir a little bit, and I'm glad we did a little bit there because now we're right back into the money again, back up to 60. So we'll see where Palantir goes. I do have an offer now in this area. So yeah, if we can get out of this, I don't mind doing that. But Palantir right now back, not out of it, just take a piece out. So we don't have to worry so much about it. But here goes Palantir to the backside. We'll see if it can pick up some steam here as the NASDAQ is really rocking and rolling right now, Neil. I don't know. I mean, I feel bad missing AMD. I don't feel bad about getting out of Facebook's way as that's continuing to go to the downside. So that was a good out for me. But right now we're just rocking and rolling, and I'm waiting for Palantir to take off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just reloaded on Voyager, which is, I mean, that short's going okay there. And it's Facebook's bouncing over and over again off this 326. And with the market strong right now, It's hard to ignore. Look at the wick bottom in the pre-market and yesterday's action on Facebook before it rallied. It was right at the same 326 level. So as it gets off the schneid here, the schneid. I gotta stop saying it like I'm aging myself with. You have probably never heard schneid before. Anyways, as it gets off the bottom here, no, these guys.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right. You've heard schneid because I say it too often.
Yeah.
But like, it just feels like this should be participating in this rally. So if I can pick something up closer to 27s, which is a long way of saying that, off of this low, and I probably should have executed first and then shown you guys the chart, then I want to go ahead and do that because I've obviously missed out on the short opportunity. We talked about that 331 half, that 332 area, but the relative weakness I think would stop at some point because we're now screaming towards positivity in the overall market.
Yeah.
I mean, the NASDAQ is now 0.2% to the downside. Right, and the ES has already gone back to like less than 0.5%. So it's led by the NASDAQ. This bounced back into the upside, and I would think that Facebook holding that wipeout bottom should catch at least a little bit of a bid. I mean, if you can't catch a bid here, I don't even know what to say about the stock today. So I just grabbed some Facebook. We'll give it to that 326 bottom. Technically, the low of 325.92. Okay, so we'll maybe put it a couple of cents below that level, but let's go Facebook. Still working up pretty well in that GTE. I'm telling you, when these stocks go back to penny status, please put your stops and make sure you don't get caught long in one of those because this stock is dying like a quail. We'll get back to that when we come back from Brendo.
Your daily short report today brought to you by DNA in New York. 12% just got flushed there. This is Scorpion Capital, guys. Talking about a colossal scam, this DNA, which is Ginkgo Bioworks. So that just got flushed.
Okay. Ginkgo Bioworks. Okay. Palantir just went up to 60 there and we got out one piece there. I mean, we're still in and we still got out a 15% there. So we still are into that name. So we'll wait to see what happens here for Palantir. I still think we go to the upside, but it's bugging me, obviously, as you can see the market's rallying here. And, Palantir is still trying to get going. So hopefully that does happen for us and we'll be able to make some money on PLTR. But right now it's just kind of hovering around. So we're going to wait on it. So that's all we can do, right? We could just wait to see what happens to it and hopefully it goes to the upside, but we just cashed out a little bit there as we were noticing again, relative weakness today in Palantir, but you're already up quite nicely, so no problems there. BTBT unfortunately does wind up coming out there as it breaks the bottom, so we're still net positive on it. I hope so are you guys. Good stock for me, BTBT today, as it's still rallying, but not taking out the tops like we thought it would, considering that right now Ethereum is rocking, man. Ethereum's at 3,600 right now. Is this Bitcoin or Ethereum? This is Ethereum. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Look at this. Ethereum 3,600 and taking out tops right now. So nicely rallied. BTBT not. So there comes the disconnect. So I'm out of there. BTBT not going. Everything else is. So there we go. We're out of it and we'll watch to see what happens moving forward here.
Yeah, and like I said, I did reload here on Voyager up in that 4 range, 403. Took a few shares at the 80s, and I'm like, why am I shorting that consolidation? I should probably get more shares closer to that 4 range. Still have a 398 price. I mean, GTE is just, it's essentially a dying quail at this point. So all I'm really doing is making sure that I stick to my rules. And like I said, if it broke that 90 and got to 88, I wanted to have about a quarter to a third of my position left. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I still hold just a little bit more than that. So I'm going to get on the bid probably one more time in the 89 range on GTE. I'm trading it on the Amex, formerly the Amex, the IZ market. It also is dual listed in Canada, but we're not going to show it there. MRNA, despite being, and again, this is the risk of trading expensive or stocks with a bit of a spread at the open. Sometimes if you make a mistake on the stock, you're gonna get absolutely burned. We've settled in on this name, at least now, to get the short that we wanted into the pop. So it's held that pre-market high. I just missed getting hit on the bid. You know what, I'm gonna cancel this bid right here because it just ran away from my bid here. You can see 3 times, 318.50 it's bounced. I was sitting at 318.55 and just missed getting filled. So I'll step it up just a little bit so I can get the cover that I wanted for a third of my position here. I'm not going to be green on it just yet. It's going to have to take out the lows. You were pretty close. It's going to have to get and take out those lows, but I feel like Moderna's trying to do that here. Again, some relative weakness for Moderna because of their news. That's why we went over to that stock. Facebook, on the other hand, I don't know what to make of this thing. Whoops, there you go.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
So I really did think of this many times bouncing off 26, market looked like it was gonna go. It tries to get above that 27 area, throw the stop in at the low of the day, and all we're doing is screaming. Like a little downtick in the futures, pulling back a little bit, and Facebook just decides, harsh reversal. So I don't know if I want to try this 2 or 3 times. I might just stick to the one and done notion, trying to long a stock like Facebook in today. And then I want to get to this CEI. I didn't want to play it in the middle. It's a great break by Sean. $1 is the level I said. I'm actually already sitting on the bid here at 103 just in case something crazy happens to the downside. Like if it really, really flushes, now I stand ready to cancel any orders if it looks like it's going to halt on me. I never want to get caught in a halt. CEI is capable of that because remember, this cheap, it doesn't have to move that far in terms of actual pennies for it to halt. And that's worth keeping in mind. Like if it comes down here, like that harsh of a move, I actually have to cancel my bid because I don't want to get caught in on a downward halt if I'm in the long position. If it resists a halt band in front of 1, which looks to me like a 118, okay, so it's actually getting close. If it looks like it's about to halt downside, and I have a chance to maybe catch a bit of a breakout to the long when it doesn't halt, then I might jam into it, like just hit the offer and then see if we can't go along. You'll know it when you see it because the bid will stack up, or so the offer will stack up if you're looking at a level 2, and it won't be able to go more than 1 cent down. It'll just basically be trying to hit that bid. I am now out of Facebook. That stock is super weak, but all eyes for me right now on CEI, guys, which is falling like an absolute rock.
All eyes on me, yeah. Some Tupac. Yeah, Tupac. We talked about Machiavelli yesterday, actually, and I dropped the Tupac.
That was so random. Yeah, we did yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. All right, so yeah, Tupac. Everybody knows who he is, I'm sure.
If you don't,
whether or not he's alive or not, no, I think unfortunately he's passed away. Okay, so we'll wait now. AMC, guys, there's the big break for that one. I mean, breaker 1.9. Do you read? Because we shorted this a long time. 36.55, and here we go, man. Now we're getting excited. We talked about a 36 break on AMC, and here we go again, guys. So here's a nice little breaker for us on this name. So we'll see where we go from here, but I like it to the downside as AMC cracks that $35. Probably worth holding on to a little bit, so that's what we'll do, and we'll see where we go from here. But right now, 35.90 to the downside. It just cracked it. The last time this happened, we went to 34, so I don't think that's going to happen today, but it could. And again, that's what we talked about. If you're following us, please do so. Either myself or Neil or all of us, preferably, and Brendan as well. I know you're probably following the main account, but here we go, man. This is what we talked about. We talked about Palantir, CEI, long all day. We talked about that. That's made us some money. Watch the AMD 100 level, and there's AMC, guys. Watch out for the 36 break. So there it comes through. We shorted at 36.50. I know a lot of you don't like that, but we'll wait to see what happens with CEI. And there it is again, Neil, man. We got our 07s on CEI. So there's that bit. Hallelujah. What up, Beep?
Individual tech stocks showing some strength here, guys. Just notice this one. Roku just took out yesterday's high, up 2.6%. Big volume spike there at yesterday's high for Roku.
So a couple of things will go, and we'll hit some keys for why not. We've just broken that 88 low. So like I said, I wanted to have quarter to a third of my position. I actually hold 29% of 28% of GTE left as it continues to flush into the downside. I took some more shares off on Moderna in that little bit of a flush. I still want to hold through a low break, but I just wanted to bank some profit. I mean, I basically just made up for the bungle this morning already. And now if I can hold through the low, we can extend that trade in. The other one that is heading into the downside is that Voyager, right? So initially had a short, got stopped out. And you have to have rules and you have to have a stop. I'm not going to sit there averaging into it. If I average into this trade, I'd now be basically positive, holding the entire time would work. But to me, that's not really that much of a strategy. Next bids are going to be in front of this 360 level and then in front of 350, and then we'll see how far it can come back. 370 key level on the daily chart, right? So I want to see if it breaks 370 and then start covering on the flip side of that. I think it could trigger some stops down there. Speaking of stops, I will tell you the one that did not come in because, hey, guess who went to the upside?
CEI.
No. Virgin Galactic somehow, right? So, I mean, look, the market's coming back up. That's why it happened. But that 22 level, I like it even more because it's going to be support when the market bounces. So that's going to be a good sign. I still, look, the day that it cracks this, if the market continues to come down, I am going to short this level. It obviously did not break today, and it was only ever a breakdown trade for me. If this sniffs $24, that's definitely a short. There we go. We're now $6 in the money on Moderna, and you guys are headed to Brendan? No? Valeria, sorry.
Hey Neil, Affirm is up more than 3%. Do you guys see any opportunities in AFRM today?
Affirm, what up, Affirm? We'll look at Affirm for sure. I'll look at that right now, actually, as we're averaging into Palantir. It doesn't look like it's doing too good right now, but look at that, man. Look at that bid that we got on CEI. And I told you we were sitting there. We weren't even on an inverted gateway. It actually went through us there at 106 there. So we actually got that 107. We got paid to get this fill, and look what we did. We just emptied it out. Ding, 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 ding. Upside. That's a big trade for me, so that's a nice win there. Really happy with the way that one's pairing out. There comes AMC back to the downside. We'll hold out for that one. I mean, we're just spinning the wheel today, and it's coming up not bankrupt. So we'll see what's going to come up. I already know the way this works, guys. It's going to come up jackpot, so don't worry where it comes up to unless we've changed it. That'd be an evil trick to do to us. Put that the other way. But there it is right now, guys. Big trade right here happening right now. AMC to the downside. So I'm super happy with the movement on this stock as we shorted this all the way up here and then bang it to the downside there. We're getting close to being out of that trade. CEI, we just emptied out of that one. And then here comes Palantir. We talked about buying it a little bit down low. Our average price now is 42. It hasn't been a good one. I think there's a rally coming in this name. But again, it didn't rally off the market move here. And then so when this happens to the market, yeah, it is going to be fading back in here. So I don't know. We'll see on Palantir. This is the slippery slope for me. We're just trying not to fall too hard on it. But right now, Palantir, we picked up some bottom picks. We'll see if we get some out around here. 35-ish would be nice, but I don't know.
Because this is a stock that I haven't looked at in a long time, I'm going to use an old one. That's doing a backflip. So remember US Steel, we talked about the downgrade they got. Look, this is like, I was talking about wanting to go short in Virgin Galactic. I own Virgin Galactic. I still have some US Steel from way back last year when I got it, and I've been adding to it, and I've been taking some out in front of 30. But it's just weak today, and you get a downgrade, and you can't really trade your own book, and you can't have a bias towards things that you might own as a day trader. So it broke that 21. We took the short. It immediately flushes into 70. I cover some when it just had a bit of a consolidation, but I'm hanging on to this. Like, remember, there is this level on the daily chart that I believe we mentioned after it took out that 21, right back here at 2050. So I want to see if this thing can get down to that 2050 and break it. Already down 7.5%. So relative weakness. That's why it was on the watch list. Usually we don't talk about the metals too much here, but that's why I was on the watch list today. Brendan.
A couple things. Recent high flyer GROM just popped up on volume. Here's a story on Apple as well. EU antitrust regulators set to charge the company over NFC chip tech. So heads up on Apple. I mentioned individual tech stocks showing strength. This not one of them so far.
Yeah, I want to apologize to Ape Nation here, but we're smoking this one today as AMC guys. There we go. AMC coming to the downside right now, and again, sorry, not sorry. I mean, we try to give as many trades as we can, and we try to hit the hot names and the good as well. But there it is right there, man. Nicely traded on AMC for me. So we're pretty much out of it right now. We're going to hold that one piece to see what we could do on the downside. So that's 25, 50, 75. I mean, that's this is a big flush for me and a big move. So I'm going to take that. And someone said, hey, Sean, could you do a class on scalping and how to get out? Okay. So welcome. My name is Sean, and I'm a scalper. So is that a right word? Scalper? That doesn't sound right. But that's a... Anyway.
We've had this discussion before. It's a trading term. It is what it is, man.
Probably not a kosher term anymore. But CEI right now is starting to make that move as well. I do want to look at your face. I mean, my Facebook, I guess.
I just wanted to, because we had a question.
Nothing, Neil.
I'm mad at. I got wicked out of Facebook, and it's still holding that price area. But we did have the question about a firm, so I do want to. Yeah, I kind of do want to get to it because it is up 3%, but a monster break. And I kind of wish I was not looking at this firm. I love the company. I'm actually on the bid. Well, not here, but I'm on the bid to try to catch some more in front of 100 if it ever does that flush. But look at yesterday's top. This is 115 on yesterday's high. It stalls out right at resistance from 2 days ago, 117, and on the dip, it's holding this 115 level, so right in this target range, exactly where you'd want to see it bounce if it's going to be a continuous move. So thank you guys for putting it on the radar, because I wasn't watching a firm. I look at this and say, if the market even tries to hold up, because keep in mind, like, we've just come back from trying to go positive on the NASDAQ to down 0.75% again. So in the midst of that pullback, a firm is holding what essentially is a higher low at a key level. So that's a shot that I like to take. So I'll give it the buck here, grab into the long position. Of course, I mean, Facebook, I'm probably going to stay away from Facebook at this point. I just feel like it's marching to the beat of its own drum too much to try to fight this name. It just got back in. I got wicked out on Facebook, and now it's back to testing 328. So the read wasn't that fantastic other than thinking it should bounce, but how it did so did not make a heck of a lot of sense. That Voyager, VGR here, guys, now it just broke that 370 level that we're talking about. On the daily chart, 370 was resistance. Now you're looking, it was looking to be support. Once we held that high, we took it twice at 930 for that 930 pop and rollover. Once it breaks 370, we're looking to get out some in front of 360, as I mentioned. I will have some bids in front of 350 as well, just to see how far it can go. MRNA has yet to take out the bottom, but it's getting relatively close. That's that wick bottom that I got bungled in on in the morning, and then we're trying to make it all back here. Well, knock on some wood, because I still have the amount left, which will determine the trade. If it does take out this low, this is what we're looking at on the 15-minute chart, right? So if we take out this fresh low here, we're looking all the way down to that 305 bottom. Somewhere between 5 and 9 or 10 here would be your target range for that to be put in. So here comes Moderna. It's trying to break through that. I think there's a long way for it to flush. And if the market continues red, that is only going to help Moderna with this position. And I want to be able to hold on to this one. So, you know, after the bungle, it is what it is. I had to figure it out. What you always try to do there is just take a second. I didn't get back into position on Moderna for like a minute or two. I said, okay, well, what did I want as my secondary trade? It was off the high. Let it test that actual pre-market high, then execute. Don't just immediately punch back in because you got wicked in and out of something. Reassess, make sure you're following your rules, and then jump right back on the horse. The more you do it, the easier it gets to do that. And the more we send to Brendan, the more information we get. So let's see what's happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, look at the overall markets here as we head to 10 o'clock. A little bit different today. We usually see either tech leading or everything else leading. It's kind of right across the board right now. As far as weakness is concerned, the NASDAQ Composite 100.8 or 0.9 both right now. But look, the Dow and the S&P 1 to 1.2%. So it's kind of spread out as far as the selling is concerned so far today. The Russell 0.7 faring the best so far here in Toronto, about the same for the TSX. A couple of things we mentioned in the pre-market. If you joined us very, very early, GM, Investor Day, it actually starts, I think, at 10 o'clock. So right now, so we should maybe get some headlines here from this Investor Day, but they did sell it right off the open all the way back to where we ended the day yesterday for GM. The iron stocks continuing under pressure. CLF day lows right now, guys, for CLF. Back over to you.
Market pukes.
And well, yeah, market just pukes. So hang on to every single short. I'm going to try. Look, I had 2 longs and we're in and out on short stops. So if you ever see my style of trading, you guys are watching the show long enough, you know that I like to take trades, sometimes counter trend, and with hard stops, right? This is day trading at the end of the day. So some trades are going to be, I'm rounding in front of a level and I want to hold all day long. Other ones are, I'm playing the bounce play here, and if it works, it works, giving $1 worth of risk to try and make 2 or 3. And when you're doing that kind of a trade, mathematically, it doesn't even have to be a coin flip for you to be profitable. So I fully expect to lose on at least half of those trades. And it also gives me the confirmation, it's not a hedge play, but it gives you confirmation that you can hang on to some of your shorts, which, what am I holding on to? I'm holding on to my shorts in a weak market, and then I'm looking for quick little long plays that are gonna work for me. It didn't work in Facebook, it didn't work in Affirm, but we're gonna hang on to what we do have. Well, actually, I should be on the bid right here on Voyager, because 63 has a bit
tanking,
of a...
right?
I mean, Voyager is tanking, and the market's actually coming down pretty hard here.
Yeah.
But there was a big buyer, and you know what? One of the things that we'll show you, and I know Prad does a fantastic job of this, is you can actually tell by some of the gateways that you'll see here, and I'll pull up Voyager just so you can see. By some of the gateways that'll post, sometimes you can tell whether it's like day traders covering based on the gateway, like the ones that pay a hefty rebate, like a MEMX here or an EdgeX.
Yep.
If you see those pop in 10, 20,000 shares, and they're actually holding the level, a lot of times that's covering entry positions or covering for short-term traders like ourselves here because they do pay a pretty attractive rebate. BATS does as well, so CBOE. And then if you see those hold up a level, then that means there could be a bit of a buyer. So what do I want to do? If I think it's going to stall at 60s and I'm waiting at 61, 62, and I see those guys buying, I see those orders at 63, well, I'll just sort of join in because they might short-term turn that trade around and bounce it up. So if I'm going to take profit in that range anyways, instead of trying to get an extra cent or two, I'm just going to get out right there at those same levels by going on an inverted gateway, be willing to pay because I'm trying to make gross because I'm short here at $4 and I'm making 40 cents on the trade instead of trying to take 2 or 3. So I'll jump and pay for that fill, noticing that there's bigger order flow that might make this pop back up. And then suddenly, if it goes back into VWAP, I can short these levels at 380, reload the position. That's what I'm looking to do with these, where I'm riding the direction of the trade, as opposed to one and done, get in on a bounce, hope to catch a bit of a relief, and then have a one and done stop order. This is more working in and out of a position, and sometimes you can have the level all you want, but you'll adjust it by a penny or two based on what you see on that level too.
Yeah, and we did the same thing here with BTBT, not on level 2 basis, but adjusting it based on something, and that was that crypto started to fall. And I mean, we got out. We saw the disconnect between crypto. Bitcoin was rallying, and this completely stopped. So look, profit, and look where we got out, right where one of our last spots was in. So we take about 10-cent hit there, and this is why you get out, man. You can't hold things forever. And I think that if you're joining us now, you sort of know that you have outs, and then you don't have to worry about it. This is why we're able to stay positive on such a negative day and going long and things like that. And I bring that right back to Palantir. I mean, like we talked about getting out down there, like we averaged in there, like that's 09s. We just got out at 33, so that's like a 20-cent win there on the backside of this trade, right? And then like Palantir, I'm literally down fees today. Like I'm just down getting some of these fills, and I'm down a little bit on gross, but not really. Like we're long at 33 here. Palantir is by far not done. I mean, we have a low wick bid here of 24.09, so here it comes right back upside. So now we're positive on Palantir. So sometimes you got to wait a little bit and you got to be patient. So I don't know. Look, trade your book, please. That's the number one thing that Neil and I can tell you. And we're here to try to give you some ideas that we're looking at and try to advise things like that. But honestly, like this is rocking and rolling right now. And for me, I'm going to hold it. I do realize that there's some risk in here, but if this is an uncomfortable position for you, then get out. I mean, Palantir, I'm out of the money 8 cents on this. That is not uncomfortable for me. So we're going to hold that and see where we go here on Palantir. We also did the same thing, man. Look what happened on CEI. It ripped right back into some of these levels that we like, 20 cents. So we got 07s and we took it out for the dime, some at 17 there, right? We're going to keep doing that. And now it's coming back in. So we'll just look at all of these outs, man. We took a big boy position and getting it out up here. So that's like what we're talking about. That's how you stay positive, man, in this market. You got to take profits when they're there. So there it is. We're going to keep doing that. On that note, we're still going to be watching Palantir as well. I think that goes higher. So I don't even have, I mean, where's my next offer? Is 46. So we'll wait for that. That's random. I don't know why that is. I'll have to see why I did that. Sometimes when we're on the show, we're just throwing out random prices. I find myself anyways doing that. And then sometimes they fill and sometimes they don't. $100 here holding on AMD, but look at the pullback in. When the market does this, look at AMD. It's basically identical here to the market. There's the market coming back down. Thanks, Lucas, for that. There's the market coming back down, and here's Palantir. It's almost identical, right? So, sorry, AMD coming all the way down. So we'll have to watch out. If you think the market's going to rally, AMD is definitely something to buy here off the bottom. We're already long Palantir. I'm going to hold out on more bids, but for right now, looking like it's good. It's 10:06, and we have Brendan.
GROM, I mentioned earlier, guys, another one that's popped up before on Reddit and social media sites going again today. Remember, this is a 10 million share float on this, so 10.8, in fact, free float for GROM, but absolutely tearing faces off, really. 40% here for GROM.
Well.
And look at Palantir.
I actually just said, oh crap, on GROM, because we don't have locates on GROM. I just double checked. But it's getting to a level, when we last traded GROM, I can tell you it had a parabolic movement almost $7. And when it flushed, I was